So my name is Dara Stanley and I'm a lecturer in the School of Agriculture and Food Science, where I teach primarily onto the Agri-Environmental Science degree programme, but also onto the degree programmes in horticulture, forestry and animal and crop production. We have huge challenges when it comes to agricultural production. We need to produce more food to feed a growing global population, but at the same time we have huge environmental challenges, things such as climate change and biodiversity loss. Agriculture and the environment are inextricably linked. We need a healthy environment to support agriculture, but at the same time, agriculture kind of impacts on the environment. So agriculture relies on having a healthy environment. Agriculture needs clean and healthy and functioning soils. It needs a clean and stable water supply. It needs good climate regulation. And it needs a whole host of what we call ecosystem services provided by the environment. These might be things such as natural regulation of pest populations by wild insects, or this could be the provision of pollination services to crops by bees and other wild pollinators. But at the same time, agriculture can cause challenges for the environment. Agriculture is a major contributor to climate change. Agriculture can be involved in the pollution of water bodies and other ecosystems. Agriculture can also be quite reliant on the use of chemical pesticides, which can also cause environmental problems. And agriculture has also been involved in the destruction of many natural ecosystems and semi-natural habitats, things like the rainforest, or things like hedgerows, woodlands and semi-natural grasslands here in Ireland. So it's really important that we can find solutions to ensure that we can feed our growing global population and also ensure that we have a healthy environment that can keep supporting agricultural production into the future. So the area that I mainly research and teach into is entomology, which is the study of insects. And I teach entomology to the Agri-Environmental Science degree, but also to the degrees in horticulture, forestry and animal and crop production. So I'm sitting here in my garden at the moment and I'm surrounded by insects. I can hear bees buzzing, I can see some hoverflies, I've seen a beetle this morning. Insects are everywhere. And insects really are the most diverse group of organisms that we have on the planet. So we've described over 1 million species of insects, but it's estimated that we could have as many as 5 or 10 million different species, and new species are being discovered all the time. So insects are the base of the food chain. They're really important food sources for a whole host of other organisms, but they're also really important in terms of the services they provide to natural ecosystems and also to agriculture. And insects are also really important as the pollinators of some of our crops. So for example, 75% of all the crops that we grow globally benefit in some way from pollination by bees and other insects. These are fruit crops, nut crops, seed crops, oil crops. Examples of some of the crops that benefit from bees and other pollinators in Ireland are things such as oilseed rape, field beans, apples, strawberries, clover, and so on and so forth. So a lot of the research and teaching that we do in agri-environmental science, it takes place in the lab, but it also takes place in the field. And we're really lucky to have a fantastic environmental research station on the UCD campus at Rosemount, where a lot of this takes place. We also use UCD Lyons Farm, and we also do a lot of work countrywide in various habitats and various types of farmland around Ireland. A lot of the research that we do also takes place internationally. So for example, I have 2 PhD students working on separate projects in Africa, one currently working in Ghana and one currently working in Zambia. Some of the other areas that my colleagues in agri-environmental science work on are looking at plant roots and how they interact with soils, looking at organisms that are found in soil, for example earthworms and their role in different soil processes. They also look at things such as wildlife conservation and how that interacts with agriculture, and also semi-natural habitats on farmland and the role of agri-environmental schemes. We also look at things such as greenhouse gas emissions from soils and interactions with climate change. I hope I've managed to give you a flavour of some of the research and teaching that we do in Agri-Environmental Sciences at the School of Agriculture and Food Science at UCD. Thank you very much.